Watcher of the Rebirth is here. Night Watcher. 3 times in a single day. Hey guys, can you hold on for 1 second? I just got a book delivered to my house. Where else? And I don't want to leave it on my doorstep. Hold on. I apologize. Rude of me. Did anyone stick it out? All right. Hey, Night Watcher. Did you see my photo on my community page? Runner Boy says, is Yogi invisible? So, I'll do an unveiling. It's not going to be exciting. It's just a book. It is a book called Living a Radical Life. Astonishing ideas hidden in plain sight in A Course in Miracles. So I'm familiar with the author from Facebook, and I saw the book and I thought, you know what, support an artist. I've read his stuff on Facebook, so support someone that I vaguely know from social media, you know, help a writer out. So there it is. I'll let you know how it is. Let's see. I'm reading comments on my photograph. Let's see. How do I pronounce that? Is it Z with a Are you Michael Stripes from REM? As a matter of fact, I am, but I didn't want to draw attention to myself. You know how it is when you're a famous musician. So, How is everyone? I'm bringing up my desktop so I'm able to see the comments a little easier. Hope everyone is having a good night so far. I cannot pronounce that name. Moby. You know what? At least Moby's a vegan. Michael Stipes might be a vegan as well. Moby's not a bad description. I believe I'm older than Moby. Moby's a good guy though. Full 100% vegan. Attempts to live a very peaceful and spiritual life. I have much respect. Rashan, I'm depressed. Please help me. I don't know that I can. Are you depressed about an issue, or are you suffering from clinical depression? There's a big difference. Having suffered through light clinical depression for much of my life, I can empathize, my friend. Hey, thumbs up to you. Great to be a vegetarian. I was a vegetarian for a while, and turned full vegan about 15 years ago. Vampire says, hey, Boldy, I am often very bold. Sometimes it takes a bold person to do bold things in life. So you step up, you know? I appreciate that. One says, am I a vegan if I drive a diesel car with cooking oil? That is an excellent question. I am not a vegan judge. I know vegans who eat honey. Don't judge them. I know vegans who eat eggs. Vegan's an ethical stance. So what does your ethics tell you? And what does that do to your car? Double tap on screen, guys. Much appreciated, Mir. Mir, how are you? Sorry, I've missed some of your live streams, my friend. Vampire says, you look intellectual. Fortunately, you can't judge a book by its cover. I might look intellectual, but I am as plain as simple as can be. But I thought, you know what? If I put on glasses and I stand in front of a bunch of books, people are going to think, man, that guy, you know, especially glasses and a shaved head, he's got to be an intellectual. Looks are most certainly deceiving. Diesel said, Wince says, cars can run on cooking oil. I didn't know that. Vampire says, so you are illiterate. Actually, there's a place in the middle. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You don't have to be either intellectual or illiterate. You could be like perfectly content, right in the middle. More important than being an intellectual, being curious. Have a curious mind. If I didn't have a curious mind, the conversation between you and I would be over. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen. Cynical, Cyan says, hey, Cynical, how are you? Cynical, I'm making sure I can pronounce everything. Cynical, Cyan, did I get that right, approximately right? I like that title. I'm always curious. I never want to come out and ask someone, you know, even on social media, people have their reasons for what they do. But I'm always curious why people choose their names. I was very much wanted to be just a yogi. I didn't want people to think that I was, back in the day, we would say putting on airs, that I was anything other than a practitioner. I've got a meditation teaching instructor's certificate, and I have breathwork coaching certificate, and I have 200 hours um, yoga teaching certificate. But I'm just a plain old yogi, practicing and practicing and practicing. Vampire says, "Are you yogi? Follow Sadhguru." I like Sadhguru. I got his book on karma behind me. I wouldn't say I'm a follower of his though, but I love his teachings. Absolutely. Let's see. What's your advice to gain self-control and discipline over yourself? Practice. Just practice. I don't know as you have to have perfect self-control or even discipline. I think being kind to yourself is much more important than being disciplined, and that discipline develops through kindness. When you know why you're doing something. I'm up at 2:30 every morning to do breath work and to meditate, followed by yoga. And if it was strictly discipline, I would run out of discipline. One thing I learned was an ultra runner for well over a decade. I've done several 100-mile races. Sometimes willpower and discipline gives out completely. And yet you still finish the race. Why? Because there's something greater than willpower. There's something greater than discipline, and it's love and it's curiosity. Love yourself, be curious, and see what you can do, and see how far that takes you. I love Osho. It's a little controversial, but I do love him. Crazy wisdom is Osho. If you try to understand him intellectually, you never will. But if you open your heart to the craziness, let's see, Squirrel Sniper says also passion. Definitely passion. Excellent, Squirrel Sniper. Thank you for adding that. Optimob is here and says hi, Will. Optimob says hi to everyone. Hi to you. Sino says you pronounce all of it right. There is a first time, what's the saying? No offense to our friend Squirrel Sniper. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut sometimes. Wince says, bye. Take care, my friend. I appreciate you stopping in. So self-control is simply falling in love with what you're doing. We've been talking about that quite a bit. We've been talking about the myth of Sisyphus, especially presented by Camus. Squirrel Simple says a blind squirrel finds the best nuts. That is good to know. As I've been stumbling around with my emotional, intellectual eyes shut for decades. Let's see. We got an emoji. What is that emoji, William? I can't quite see it unless I squint very closely at the phone, and nobody wants to see that. So I just pulled up Cynical's channel. So it's a gaming channel. Is it mostly a gaming channel? But it looks really interesting, my friend. Actually, it looks like you do all kinds of stuff. And for whatever it's worth, it might not be worth anything. I went ahead and subscribed. Just want to, anyone who puts up a channel and is willing to share the things that they love definitely deserves support, and I'm all for it. Let's see. Thank you. Your words are inspiring. I think love and curiosity, it's a better tool for such a loose person as I am. Here's what you'll find. When you fall in love with something, it becomes your discipline. And people will say, I've done burpees every day for almost 1,000 days in a row. Um, when I was ultra running, I ran every single day, even after a long race. I have meditated every single day for well over 30 years. I've written every day for 25 plus years. And people always say, man, you're so disciplined. I'm up every morning at 2:30, meditating, practicing yoga. I am not disciplined at all. I might be one of the laziest people you'll ever want to meet. And I'm a little bit selfish. I do the stuff that I love to do. It just so happens that the stuff that I love to do makes me look really good. Makes me look like I'm this amazing yogi. Um, I'm just a guy who loves to meditate. I'm just a guy who loves to do burpees. I'm just a guy that loves to do yoga. That's why the title, just a yogi. So, not to sell myself short, it has become a discipline. But it didn't become a discipline through pain and anguish, where I made myself do this. Saying, man, I don't want to do this, but I made a vow to myself. I knew that once I started, I would absolutely love doing it. So I showed up. Man, showing up is more than half the battle. It's the only battle, and it's not even a battle when you fall in love with it. Again, when you're curious, what would happen if I showed up every day? What kind of writer would I be if I wrote every single day? I can guarantee you, in my own case, it's a better writer than the one that used to write occasionally and wonder why my writing sucked. School Sniper says, when you can't see them because they're buried, the nose. Nice. Must take over. When the nose is your first sense, then you are under par already. Nice. That's awesome. We got a wave from School Sniper. Sabine says, hi, Yogi Eric. Hello, Sabine. How are you? These are the things I absolutely love to talk about. Where inspiration arrives to, how can we garner more inspiration in our lives? And the trick is, we have to invite it. We have to invite inspiration to show up. It's always present, always there. And when you invite it, you look out the window and you see infinite things to write about, or to paint, or to sculpt, or to do origami, whatever your art form is. You know what? I'm going to use our friend Optimob, our friend Timo, who is very dedicated to the skill of editing his videos. Extremely so. And you see the effort pay off in the beauty of his videos. And someone might say you're very disciplined in what you do, which is true, but I guarantee you, Timo actually absolutely loves what he's doing. He has fallen in love with the art of editing. So it doesn't feel like discipline. It feels like an act of love. And when you watch that video, you're experiencing, I'm going to apologize to William H. You are literally experiencing an act of love. Squirrel Sniper says, very talented in that department, Timo. Absolutely. Timo says, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. And speaking of Timo, don't take my word for it, guys. Visit Optimob and hang out and watch a video for lots of reasons. One, because it's absolutely beautiful. Two, you're helping out a friend because the watch hours are getting down there. So close. So close. We can almost see the ads appearing on an Optimob video. And then when the ads do appear, make sure you watch the ads because that means you're supporting an artist. Let's see. That's funny. I can agree. The stuff I know and do best is the ones that I didn't put any discipline or focus effort, just curiosity and love to those things. Imagine if you could approach that to almost anything in life. We got the link dropped for the next premiere. It's going to be this Sunday. An Optimob Sunday premiere is a special time. OMH has a emoji signaling time. What time for the premiere? It's usually 4 o'clock Eastern time. Hey, if you could give me a hint on how to pronounce your name, I will be able to at least do my best to pronounce it. And I subscribe to you as well, my friend. If you ever want to let us know, yep, your name. No big deal though, if you'd rather not say. Just because I can't pronounce it. I still might not be able to pronounce it. Brenhan? Brennan? Brenhan. Optimob says cool swole sniper. William says I was trying to remain in the vow. I was trying to understand how many hours they had left. I believe it was in the low fives, right? Or I don't remember. So, hey, Optimob, how many watch hours did you need again? So yeah, I was going to say, whatever it is that you might be working on, that you are, whatever it is that's your passion, if you want to share it, I'm here to support you 100%. Whatever it is you're doing, I share your stuff out. I'll encourage you. Squirrel Sniper says, Optimob, I worked in Soho, Wardour Street in London in post-production company in the 90s. I started off a runner at 18 and was editing in their offline suites at night for free to learn the skills. Nice. $592 watch hours are needed. And did you see how many it says on what date that was posted? So you know how many William Waves. So you know how many are on hold. Because it might be 5 days. In which case, we would cut that just about in half. I got a 3 hour and 52 minute and 52 second video from Optimob up right now. Switzerland to Bavaria. So that'll be playing for the length of the live stream and a little bit longer. Been playing through the day. Brian Lane's here. Brian, how are you? What's going on, Brian? Brian's saying hi to everyone. Let's see. It's the meme title of my channel. Translates as, "Do you recognize? Do you agree?" My name is Dij, D-I-G. So, Dij or D. Hopefully I'm somewhat close. Jess, how are you? Jess, I just subscribed to you. Jess says, "Hi Eric, Squirrel Sniper, and everyone else. Man, I'm really happy that you're here." Guys, Jess is a friend of mine. You're all friends of mine. But Jess is a offline friend as well. Trending and Buddha support says, "Hey Yogi, Buddha love." Thank you, Buddha. Happy that you're here. Brian says, "Not much, Eric. I'm okay. May have made a few mistakes yesterday, but I'm learning to leave it and live in present." Exactly, Brian. That was yesterday. It was yesterday. You can take what you need from that experience and leave the rest completely behind. Let's see. You mean more like die? I'm sorry. If it makes you feel any better, I'm just as bad with English names as everyone here can testify. So I'm thinking die, right? You guys can help me with this. Just says good. Just says cool. Squirrel Sniper and I are in a bunch of the same groups. Wow. It really is a small world, isn't it? Let's see. Buddha says, "Hey Yogi, you have a great night. Buddha love while we watch." Thank you, my friend. You have a good night too. I appreciate you stopping in. So, hey Jess, have you interacted with Squirrel Sniper before? Brian says, "Glad you're having a good day, Eric." Also, like the picture of you and the "Who's the Yogi" post. That was Yogi version 1985. Fully into my I was doing a lot of backpacking, spending a lot of time on the Appalachian Trail, and going to a lot of Grateful Dead concerts. Squirrel Sniper says, "Greetings, Jess." Let's see. Buddha says, "I thought you were ending. Sorry." Nope, I'll be on for probably at least another 45 minutes, well, at least half an hour. Let's go with half an hour. At least. Squirrel Sniper says, "Where you've seen me, Jess?" Quantum entanglement. I was going to say down the rabbit hole for sure. Somewhere deep down the rabbit hole. It's where you're going to find Squirrel Sniper. D. I got it. D. Why was that so hard for me? I don't know. Because sometimes things are difficult for me. I apologize. I got it. D. Thank you. Brian says, "Did you do Navy SEALs today, Eric?" I did do Navy SEALs today. I did my 3 sets of pull-ups, followed by EMOM Navy SEALs every minute on the minute. I did 3 Navy SEALs, followed by a 1 pump, and then I rested to the top of the minute and did it again. Towards the end, I started adding in a Navy SEAL, So the last minute I did 6 Navy SEALs, and I kept doing 1 pumps until my time was up. It's a good workout. You guys are catching me yawning. We got the link dropped for. Man, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that word, Optimum. Mir says, head Optimum. He says, yep, guys, it is CB Kate over here. We are off to bed, but listen still. Well, thank you for listening. Much appreciated. Bumblebee T is here. Bumblebee, how are you? I know how you are. I just talked to you, 15 minutes ago or thereabouts? I guess half an hour ago. Brian says, that's great, Eric. I did Navy SEALs today, 200. Wow. Brian never fails to put in the work. Let me pull up Brian's channel real quick. Just wanted to see where you were subscriber-wise. 921. Only a matter of time, days, maybe a week, before you hit that 1K. So, Bumblebee T says, hi, Yogi and all. Squirrel Supper says, hey there, Sabine. I hope you had a beautiful day. I did a garden makeover today. It was a jungle first thing this morning. The customer came back. They couldn't believe it. I was on my own. Wow. That seems like a full day's work, Sniper. T says, I'm trying to be better than yesterday. Moment by moment. The best that we can do. So, Jess and I have actually meditated together on Facebook chat, but we've meditated together. Let's see. D says it's just a translation issue. If I type DII, it would be clear for people from the same group of languages, but doesn't fully understandable for English speakers. So sorry for complicating. Nope, you didn't at all. My mind went in every direction except for the obvious. So yeah, that's on me. Squirrel Sniper said he's back tomorrow to start in the rear garden. Hey, do you generally work by yourself, Squirrel Sniper? Smith says, so you got lots of work, eh? Timo says, I would like to say goodnight. I edited today the video for Sunday. Tomorrow I have a little surgery on my shoulder in the hospital, so I edited better today for the video on Sunday. Godspeed. Good luck on the surgery tomorrow. Are you going to be outpatient or overnight? Well, you can answer that tomorrow. I don't want to keep you up, my friend. Mir says, so Yogi, now I going to sleep. 3 a.m., man. Bye. Take care, Mir. I appreciate you coming in. T says, Optimob, hope the surgery goes well. I do as well. Our friend Barb is in the hospital right now. Squirrel Sniper says, Cosmic ordered, swift recovery, Optimob. Just says, and we live 10 minutes apart. So, yeah, we need to get, I was going to say coffee. For me, it's going to be tea, because I drink that 1 cup at 4 o'clock in the morning, and that's it for the day. Just says, my friend is coming all the way from Colorado to help me make a permaculture garden. Wow. That's pretty awesome. Timo says, to Bumblebee tea, that goes well. I know where the doctor is living. Thank you. T says, Yogi, what was the plan? Was that say plan with Barb? Was that plan with Barb? No, it was not. They thought it was dehydration, but now they're going to run some tests. D says, so good luck to Optimum. Health with you. Thank you for that, D. T says, Optimum, I bet it knows who the bill owner is. Hey, T, I'm taking my herbal sleep aid. Just to let you know, in case you needed a reminder for supplement time. Gift says, yes, tea is great. Tea would be great. Especially if we went to like Barnes & Noble and we could wander the bookstore a bit. T says, thanks, Yogi, for her update. Absolutely. As I mentioned before, speaking of meditation and meditating with Jess, that I always tell my friends and family that I will teach you meditation absolutely for free. So if you're interested, if you're here, if you left a comment, if you communicated with me, if you hit the thumbs up, you're a friend. Hey, even if you hit the thumbs down, even if you came in and called me Moby or Michael Stipes, you're still a friend. If you want to learn how to meditate, reach out. I'm happy to help. Just says, sending love and healing to Barb. Thank you, Jess. Tima says, thank you, Squirrel Sniper. T says, Yogi, I'm not by my med to take them. Need reminding in about half an hour. All right. So I need someone to remind me to remind T. Barb is here. Barb, I was just mentioning you. Barb says, hugs and blessings. Hugs and blessings to you, my friend. Thank you, Jess. Jess was sending love and healing to Barb. T says, sending healing thoughts to Barb and Wolfie. Yep, I just gave a little bit of an update, Barb, to everyone in the chat. Our friend Dottie is here. Dottie says, hi, Eric and all. How's the evening going, Dottie? Dottie's not happy. What's going on, Dottie? Let's see. Jess says, what herbal supplement are you taking to sleep? It's a mixture. I might have mispronounced the um, man. I'm not even sure if I can say it at all. Ash. I was tutored on this by Bumblebee Tea. Ashwanga. I'll have to look at the bottle. I can pronounce it most of the time when I see it, sort of. And it has valerian root, and it has a little bit, not herbal, but a little bit of melatonin in it. The key is to always take it earlier than you plan. If you take it right before you go to bed, then it takes a little bit of ashwagandha. Ashwagandha. That's not what I said. I know. What I said didn't even resemble. Oh, Daddy said I just had a link sent to me by a previous owner of my van on his channel disclosing my legal name. Man, why would anybody? I know he's a jerk. Um, but even a jerk, why would somebody do that to someone? I'm sorry, Dottie. Let's see. Dee says, mate, I like how you read my messages because you're correcting me in a while. Oh, with English? Abaz is here. It says, hey, Abaz, how are you? Barb says, so tired. I will sleep good tonight. Excellent. Man, there is nothing better than a good night's sleep. This is something our friend Bumblebee T has been struggling with, but hopefully we're going to fix that. Just says, oh, that's what I'm taking. Awesome. It's been helpful for me. I've set up the last 2 years some of my own personal struggles. It's been helpful. Let me just put it there. I've suffered before. I've mentioned before suffering imposter syndrome, because here I was teaching stress reduction. I was teaching how to deal with anxiety. I was teaching how to get a good night's sleep. And right when my father was coming on his worst, so I could not admit to anyone that I was suffering, even to myself, I started having anxiety and panic attacks, silent anxiety and panic attacks, to the best that I was able, because I didn't want to disturb my father. But I couldn't lay down. I would get overcome by this heat that would have me sit bolt up. I couldn't felt like I couldn't breathe, and I would pace all night long, thinking that I would tire myself out and finally lay down, only to have the whole thing happen and the cycle would continue. If I was lucky, my eyes would shut for who knows, but it was not long at all. Abbas says he's good. Great, I'm glad. Daddy says, I think he's jealous of what I've done so far, which is ridiculous because it wasn't easy for you. You put in the work. T says, Daddy, I thought doxing was illegal. I think it's definitely against policy, right? YouTube policy. So that was the imposter syndrome. How could I be teaching this? How could it be a yogi in good standing and be having these issues out of the blue? How can I teach meditation when I tell people that meditation is an awesome way of dealing with anxiety? And it is. But no one is ever immune to anything. Anyone can suffer from anything at any time. And the key isn't to deny it or deny it or deny it. It is to accept, and then you work through it. You take the steps. It took me long enough to figure that out, and it's the advice I would have given anyone, why couldn't I take it? I don't know. Denying that it was happening to me. Let's see. T says, Barbie, you at home or hospital? She said she was home. And D says yes in English. Well, good. I'm glad we could help. Dottie says selling his subs to check out his workmanship joke. Just said last week I had 29 sleep score, and I'm not sure how that's possible. So a negative 29. Wow. How is that possible? Sleep is something that I talk quite a bit of here. Hey, if you can get natural sunlight to your eyes, preferably within the first 15 minutes of being awake, it'll make a huge difference. You are re-triggering the circadian rhythm. Barb says our rooms are private. Abess says it's 3:30 a.m. here. I can't sleep. I'm sorry, my friend. Oh, yeah, I thought you said you were home. Barb says very small room in bed. Russ, I apologize. I think I got that wrong. T says Barb, I'm jealous. Sleep well, hun. Hope you're safe and comfortable. Can be. And test results are okay tomorrow. Absolutely. Daddy said he's trying to force me to take down my channel. So putting his video out about me, people will stay away from my channel. Not going to work. You've worked too long, too hard, and you've created too much beauty to even consider that. The Burpee Reaper is here. Good afternoon, beautiful YouTube family. Hope everyone is blessed and have a wonderful day. Thank you, Reaper. How you feeling? Are you ready? Ready for your big day? T says, Daddy, I support you forever. Love the work you do. Absolutely. Everyone here does. Barb says, Zadie, I know what you're going through. Be strong. Daddy says, thanks so much, Bumble. Sorry, I'm still yawning. Says her IV post is hurting. They put it in wrist. Get some advice from Bumblebee T. Daddy says, thanks, Eric. You're welcome, my friend. Hey, I saw you dig in and refuse to be bullied or intimidated last time. So, hey, you'll get through this as well. You got friends supporting you. You got people who love you and love your channel. So I was on a not going to do any more moderators for a while, but I went back on my self-imposed policy. Jess is now a moderator because she's a wonderful supporter. And Jess, so you got the wrench. It makes it easier. You can click on anyone's other wrench. You can click on any channel if it's someone that you would like to subscribe to. So now you can click on Dottie's channel. You can click on Barb, Burpee Reaper. Barb says, thank you one and all. You're welcome, my friend. Reaper is raving at Barb and T. Hey, are you going to take a rest day, Reaper, before the race? Abess gives us a goat. I am partial towards goats. I don't know how I feel about owning some animals. I'm not saying it's wrong. I got 2 cats. I'd love to have a dog. Love to have another dog. I got a loner dog. Um, I was about to say I'd love to have a goat, and I would have a goat. Um, I guess it's more of the wild animals that I have issues owning, and birds. They're beautiful. I have nothing against people owning birds, but when I look at them, I always think what a shame it is. We love birds because of what they are, because they're in flight, and then we think about putting them in a cage and keeping them in a house. We've taken away the very thing that we love. This is awesome. Thanks, Eric. You're welcome, my friend. Hey, Jess, you ever think about doing any content for your channel? I think you got a wonderful message to share. You and I've been through some similar things as far as being caregivers. Daddy says, goats are lovely, but I love all. Me too. Oh, Abbas says, you are the goat. Ah, now I get it. Thank you. Hey, I appreciate that. We got an eek from T. Might be the first time I've ever read the word eek out loud. They sometimes use ultrasound to get veins. Gregory's here. Was at Planet Fitness. Did some work with my 15-pound and 25-pound dumbbells. Feels awesome. My back pain has subsided. Just need to build up confidence again to squat. It's coming. Don't start light. Definitely start light. I'd start just with bodyweight squats. But hey, you're in the process, Gregory. Well done. Congratulations. Let's see. T says, hi, Gregory. Hey, Gregory. Let's see. Abbas says, goats are cute. I had a lamb when I was 4. I called her Adosh Mema. Lambs are awesome too. Reaper is taking no days off. It's going to be live tomorrow, guys, with a question and answer on his live. If you have a question for the Burpee Reaper, now is the time to ask. Everyone probably has some question that they've been wanting to ask the Burpee Reaper. Now is the opportunity, guys. Be there. Reaper says it's up, guys. Hit the reminder. I'm on my way there now. Just give me a second, guys. Just want to make sure that I hit the notification. I actually don't see it, Reaper. Oh, now I see it. All right. I hope to be there. I missed your live stream today. I apologize. Dottie says I have a friend who has a bird cage in his van home, and the door open, and a resin raven sat on top, which represented freedom for the bird. Nice. Love ravens and crows. Boiled hamburger? Yeah, that doesn't sound good. Why would anyone boil a hamburger? T says, Reaper, I drop by when I can. T's just ordered some food. Reaper says, appreciate you, T. T says, Reaper, I've got a question or three. Warp says they boil most of the meals for patients. Man, that doesn't sound good at all. Let's see. Abez says, what's the last book you read, Yogi? It was Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, an interpretation of the Tao Te Ching by Dr. Wayne Dyer. And I actually read it live on my 5 a.m. reading. It had 81 verses of the Tao. I read 81 verses per day, so it took me 81 days to read. And I'm just finishing up The Mystic Jesus by Marianne Williamson, which is a wonderful take of a personal Jesus, not the Jesus that we read about in the Bible, but a personal relationship with Jesus, the mystic consciousness, not Jesus the man. Barb says hospital does also breakfast sausage. Don't let William Downey hear you say that. We got some laughing emojis. Reaper says, I know, Eric, when are you available so you can be there for a while? You know what I need to do is scheduled for 1 p.m. So that's 1 p.m. my time or your time? Would that be 10 p.m., 10 a.m. your time? Uh-oh. Man, Duncan Walsh is a bad influence on everyone. Look at Reaper picking up the Duncan Walsh slack for not being here, and have you ever considered? Reaper says, I would love to see you interact with everyone. Oh, there he is, Duncan Walsh. Namaste all. Namaste to my friend Duncan Walsh. I was just talking about how you're a bad influence on Reaper, because now he's got the have you considered. It would be fun to interact with more people. But you know what? I'm slowly going to be learning how to do live streams with other people. So, man, I'd love to give Burpee Reaper a phone call and have him show up on a live stream, or maybe me show up on after he's worked out and just chat for a minute. Let's see. Abbas says, what's the first book you talked about by Dr. Someone? Dr. Wayne Dyer. It's called Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, Wisdom of the Tao Te Ching. And it's not a literal translation of the Tao, it's an interpretation of the Tao. Excellent book. So 1 p.m. your time. So you know what I might do is if I'm doing a live stream, I will have you up and running and keep popping in and interact with everyone as well. Maybe end my live stream a little early, so when you're doing your talk afterwards, you get to spend some time. Definitely want to spend some time the day before your race. And what I'm really looking forward to is the live stream after the race when Burpee Reaper devours a New York style pizza. Duncan says, Louise. Barb says, they got me in critical care floor, watching my heart, but I'm okay. We're going to keep you in our prayers, Barb. Let's see. Shani, did I say that right? Says, hey everyone. Hey Shani, how are you? Appreciate you coming in. So, Shani has a gardening channel, which is perfect because, man, we love the gardening channels. Absolutely love the gardening channels. Reaper says, yay, thank you, Eric. Absolutely. It's a big day, man. It's a big race. Reaper says, New York style. It's going to be slaughtered. Shani says, hey, the Burpee Reaper. Abbas says, you know about David Goggins? I do know about David Goggins. Very familiar figure in the ultra running community. I can't say I'm a big follower of Goggins. We have different philosophies. But hey, who am I to compare my philosophy to David Goggins? Or anyone's, for that matter. T says, Barb, prayers and thoughts. T says, burpees at tomorrow. His race is Saturday. Duncan says, when is the Spartan event? Are you doing some different training to train for it? So yeah, tomorrow's the live stream, and Saturday will be the race and the pizza. Barb says, thank you, but was not what I expected on my birthday. Such a bummer. Is today your birthday? I did not know. I apologize, Barb. Happy birthday. It's this Saturday. Worked on his grip. Reaper says, Shani, hello. Abbas says, what's your long distance covered in a single run? 100 miles. 2 completions out of 5 attempts. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 DNFs. Did not finish. 2 completions. But I've done a lot. I think 12 or 15 24-hour races where I got, I think the least amount I got was 75 and the most was in the 90s. A little bit faster and I would have gotten that 100, but hey, it is what it is. Barb says, yep, thank you. Hey, I apologize. Everyone, it's Barb's birthday. You can wish her a big happy birthday, send lots of love. You know what, though? I mentioned this before several times. My very first 100-mile attempt, I got 66 miles, and I had to drop. Man, I was cruising along so strong. I was on par for a 19-hour finish. I was feeling cocky. Everyone was telling me what a great ultra runner I was going to be. And I crashed and burned. And I was not disappointed in the least because I ran 66 miles. I spent 66 miles with a canal next to me and a river on the other side, mountains to the side. It was beautiful. 66 beautiful miles in the woods. How can you ever be upset about something like that? Barb says, thank you, Reaper. So what's new, Duncan? Let's see. Abbas says, that's great. My highest is only 17K. Hey, 17K is excellent. 100 miles is just about being patient. You put in the training, and then it's a series of problem solving. Problem comes up, you solve it. If you don't solve it, the race is over. So sometimes you're able to solve them, sometimes you're not. Abbas says, happy birthday, Barb. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate everyone celebrating. Let's see. Abbas says, how would you say your philosophy is different from Goggins? Um, Let me wave at our good friend Just One Sue. Sue seemed surprised at my photo on my community page. Um, Mine, um, I don't have the. Oh, let me answer the first one. My first attempt was in 2013. And my last one was in 2019, right before COVID. And then all the races shut down for a while, and then I had to care for my father more deeply. For the longest time, you know, I didn't need to be with him all the time. But towards the end, definitely so, when he had congestive heart failure. So I got out of ultra running shape, and I just never felt like getting back in that kind of shape again. And my philosophy is different. Oh, and by the way, I ran my first 100. I completed my first 100 a week after my 50th birthday, which was pretty auspicious for me. David Goggins has the stay hard philosophy. I think is the best way to sum it up. Always go hard, always stay hard. Approach life as it's a 100% challenge. And I have a stay soft, stay loose, stay flexible philosophy. More of a Taoist approach, that it is the willow that bends in the breeze in the strongest wind that survives while the oak might snap in half. There might be a time to have a hard take on something, but not often, not most of the time. True strength is found in gentleness. And, here's the thing. I don't know what's behind the persona of David Goggins. I know he likes to say no persona, this is him, and that could actually be true. But everyone has a persona. Everyone. Barb says, hey, my nurse was a Barb. Was a Barb Gaspard. Wow. Found out we are distant kin. Weird. Nice, though. Reaper says, Just One Sue. If you go visit Just One Sue's page, you'll notice that the yoga squirrels are back in action. Laradox says, hi, he's back. Abbas says, interesting take. Yeah, just different. I'm not, I don't want to sound like I'm judging David Goggins, because again, man, the guy's incredible. Who am I to judge someone like him? Rob Downey says, Yogi. William, I was just talking about you a little bit ago. Nothing but good stuff. Laradox says, hey guys. Reaper says, Laradox, that was your drone? What's new, Bill? Laradox says to Reaper that he took that off his community page, still investigating on it. It's going pretty good, Bill. How about you? Hey, how's the guitar playing going? How often do you get a chance to pick it up and do some playing? Even if it's just doing a riff or two. Laradox says it's really so strange. I don't know what you... Oh, not like any drone. I would find a way to give it back to the owner. Finding something doesn't mean it's ours to keep, despite the finders keepers, losers weeper rule. It could be very meaningful for someone. It could have been something that someone saved for a long time. Just my thoughts on the subject. Imagine how you would feel if you saved every penny to get something that brought you great joy, and you lost it, and someone said, huh, It's mine now. William says, nothing much, Eric. I'm just picking up my wife. Tell your wife I said hi. Bill says he's playing more and more. Awesome. Up to 20 to 30 minutes a day. You know, I'm not a musician myself, but I absolutely love musicians, and I've talked to quite a few. The correlation between playing music and meditation is so close. You get so many of the actual benefits of meditation when you're playing. So when I hear Bill say that he's playing 20 to 30 minutes a day, I'm just thinking about how much benefit he gets from that. Bill says his son's going to bring us Strat tonight. Awesome. Hey, I don't know if you remember me talking about when we finally do a live stream together. Having your guitar, and then when we talk music, you can knock off a riff every once in a while. So let's say, if the conversation takes a casual turn towards Lynyrd Skynyrd, we might hear some Freebird. Or I'm gonna throw some fun stuff William Downey's direction, like In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. I found myself thinking about Alvin Lee the other day. Don't know why. Well, I was listening to a political speech. I won't say from whom, but they were talking about feeding the hungry. And the words to the lyrics, I'd love to change the world, but I don't know what to do, so I leave it up to you. Bill says, don't know that one, Eric. In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida or Alvin Lee? Oh, I was thinking Steely Dan. I love Steely Dan. I was a long time coming to Steely Dan. It was actually when I fell in love with jazz that I re-embraced, or embraced actually. I never disliked Steely Dan. I just never really got into them. Much to Mocha's surprise, because she loves Steely Dan. But they have such a deep love for jazz, and they actually sampled the song Songs for My Father by Horace Silver. And of course they have that jazz feel, as does Seals and Croft. Oh, In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. Iron Butterfly. I believe they were the youngest band to play at Woodstock. Almost positive you'd recognize it. Give me a second. I can't play it as I don't want to get a copyright infringement. It's only a 17-minute song, so if you get a spare 17 minutes, you're just sticking around. In my teenage years, I loved this song. I thought it was the most rocking song in the world. Now that I'm a little older, I see it wasn't really all that good of a song. T is back. You took your subs. Barb says, good night and blessings to everyone. Hugs and prayers to all. Hugs and prayers to you, and happy birthday again. Keep me posted on how you're feeling. Yogi back on board by my bedside. What did we have to remember, please? We had to remember to take your supplements. Just making them up. Awesome. William says, I thought Nights in White Satin was the most beautiful song. Man, almost every Moody Blues song is hauntingly beautiful. Tuesday Afternoon. How can you write a song about Timothy Leary being dead and have it be so beautiful? Absolutely love Moody Blues. One of the earliest progressive rock bands, actually, we'd say bringing progressive rock into the forefront. And I'm not a big progressive rock fan. What about you, Bill? Do you like progressive rock? Do you like Yes? Blue Oyster Cult? T says, take care, Barb. Just when Sue is waving at William. He says, true, true. Yeah, I can already tell we're going to have a great discussion about music. I think we like enough of the similar stuff, and yet we also like different stuff as well. So it makes for a great conversation, you know? Let's see. William says, I love Yes. So does Mocha as well. Steve Howe. Rick Wakeman, absolutely. I'm trying to. What band did Rick Wakeman start after he left? Yes, it was billed as a supergroup, but I don't remember what it was. We can find out soon enough. Bring up the old Google machine. What about Emerson, Lake and Palmer? I'll tell you who my all-time favorite progressive rock band, although they didn't like the title progressive rock or the label. Jethro Tull. Might be the most amazing live band ever. Second to the Grateful Dead, of course. But man, Ian Anderson, such a fun performer to watch. I spent hours on YouTube watching him perform. Is it like any more distinctive riff than Locomotive Breath? Let's see. William says, didn't think he went back to a band. I looked up, and I think you're right. I didn't see. I must have been thinking someone else. He did do some solo stuff. He did some session work with David Bowie, according to Wikipedia. That's who I'm thinking of. Steve Howe formed Asia. Sort of a bust, wasn't it? Not that Asia was bad, but they were billed as a supergroup, and did they really ever become super, or did they just stay a group? So I'll have to tell you an amazing thing before I head off. I'm going to shut things down in just a minute. Um, I watched a video, AC/DC, Angus Young playing guitar, and during a solo, and he busted a string, and one of the roadies, he continued playing. One of the roadies brought out a string. He added the string all the while still playing, and it sounded absolutely amazing. You can never tell what he was doing if you weren't watching the whole thing. You can find the video um, on YouTube if you search Angus Young guitar string. Let's see. Bill says, yes, they were big, but the big bus was GTR. GTR. It's not ringing a bell. Yep, Steve Howe, former Genesis, Steve Hackett. So yeah, you got Yes, and you have Genesis. On paper, everything should be good. Never quite came together, huh? Steve Howe, Steve Hackett, super guitarists together. You know what? That's like, could you put together a more perfect band maybe than the Traveling Wilburys? You got Dylan, Roy Orbison, a legend, George Harrison, Tom Petty, Jeff Lynne, ELO. I love ELO. And yet they never put out a good song. My own opinion. I know other people might love them. How could 5 all-time greats not put out a single good song? And I love all of those guys. I love Dylan. Jeff Lynne might have been the best thing to ever come out of that 70 corporate rock era, the Foreigner, Boston, Kansas style music. ELL, incredible band. All right, guys, I'm going to have to wrap things up. It is early, but it's still late for me. If that makes sense. Bill, great talking music with you. Says agreed. I'm not sure they ever blended together either. And maybe it's just because they were all such huge, big stars. T says, thanks, Yogi. Oh, you know what? I want to remember to send you the body scan description. I will do that before I go to bed, so I'm going to do that in just a minute. Guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me. Rome Danny says, take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, Bill. Much appreciated. Have a good evening. Although I know it's not quite evening for you yet. T, I'll send you a message. Barb, I think you're asleep, but happy birthday. All right. I had a great talk with you all. And again, very much appreciated. feel bad I did not get a chance to talk with Duncan too much. But hopefully soon. I need to catch up with him. Always good. Always such great suggestions. And man, it was great to have my friend Jess stop by. Jess was one of the first people that I taught meditation to after I got my teaching certification. All right. With that, thank you guys. I'm going to see everyone tomorrow. Hey, if you're up 5 o'clock in the morning, we're going to do some reading. I think I read from the Course in Miracles this morning. Maybe I'll keep up with that. Maybe I won't. Of course, my study, Course in Miracles, is ongoing always. But I might do Deepak Chopra's Spiritual Laws of Success, the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. It's a hugely influential book. It's a handbook of Vedic yogic wisdom. William says, Yogi, I feel when I come in here, I kind of take over the conversation with you. I need to stop doing that. Nope. Never a problem. Never a problem at all. Everything blends together. Also, usually you stop in fairly late when I only have like 10 minutes left. So everything's winding down anyway. A lot of people have already left. And man, who doesn't appreciate listening to William Downey talk about music? So I always want William Downey to be William Downey and to speak up because I enjoy the conversation and everyone does. So on that note, I'm going to say goodnight. Take care, guys. William, thanks. Hey, I'm sorry if I interrupted your silence. We might talk some more about that tomorrow. I appreciate you all. Take care, guys.